This is Kevin, Gamertag Magil, bringing you the second part of my Deathrow Let's Play. And in this one, I'm going to be taking on the Sea Cats. The way the divisions work, as you can see, there's a 4-team division. I have to beat the 3 people that are in my division. And then you have to be able to pay a certain amount of money to move into the next division. You just kind of keep going up like that. And you'll unlock like new teams to play against as you get up the higher levels. So the first ones you see are all the basic ones that you can play at all. And I made a mistake here because when we saw like the letters, there was a new guy I could have hired, but I didn't have enough money because of that scandal. But what I should have done is gone to manage my team and trained them all up. But I forgot you could do that. I think I remembered after I like finished recording this whole session. There's another game on after this one too. So I kind of lost out on training my guys and kind of having them a little bit better. But it's okay. I mean, a lot of it's based on how you play, and you really, once you start getting the better guys, as you go up higher and higher, you don't really need the lower level guys, even though they're trained up. They just don't quite have the skills to match up with the new guys you have. And they just kind of end up on the bench unless you're against a team that's really destroying your guys physically. And, you know, that might happen once in a while. But I picked one of the tougher teams in the regular version, or division, as opposed to, like, the team I'm playing here, which is one of the fast teams. And, they luckily beat me to the center somehow, but whatever, it happens once in a while. There's one thing I hate. I don't remember if I talked about before, but how they always throw the fucking disc to me no matter what I'm doing. It's one thing I would have, you know, kind of like in other sports games that probably would have been improved, is just controlling my teammates a little bit more and giving them more freedom, like in a lot of basketball games have, where you can kind of play off the ball and have them kind of set them up. And here I kind of remember because each of the teams has their own arena and how it's set up. And a lot of them are, you know, basically the same thing, but some have a little bit more behind the goal than others, and some are just like that, where they are here. And that's one of the good tactics to use, or it is if you have like 2 people playing, is to have one of you just like attack whoever they have playing goal, and then allow the other guy to score. But on this one, yeah, you can or there's a couple of other arenas too where you can do that, is you can shoot from behind and score. And if you have it really set up, you can shoot from one side, have your buddy go grab it on the other, and shoot and score on that way, and just kind of go back and forth with it a couple of times. I think I do that right here. I put the Deathrow on it just to, in case they try and block it, it'll rough them up a little bit too. And here I don't know how the fuck I grabbed that one when I was trying to grab her the entire time, and I was way closer to her, but decides for some reason to throw it to somebody else. But here, whenever we don't have the ball, like I've tried to play the goalkeeper and I can't do it. So whenever they're going at me, I just try and beat up somebody and try and get an injury and be helpful in my own way for the team. But I've got a pretty good start on the round right here. Is it 7-1 because that last minute shot went in too. And that's one thing I kind of like. As soon as you shoot, it's like basketball. As soon as you let go of the disc, the time, or it can still go through even though the time is gone. So that's nice. There, I probably should have just left that guy injured because the Sea Cats don't really have much of the way of offensive beat 'em up power. They're more of just the fast one. There's my favorite move to pull off at the start of a round, and they stopped it. But a lot of the times you can time that right and you'll just go right through them. You'll get the disc and they won't have somebody playing goal yet, so you'll just rock them and take them out and get an easy goal. But I really like this arena, just the way it looks. It's got a lot of the underwater theme, and you've got that little oval in the middle. So you've got like an aquarium in there too, so it's a pretty cool looking one too. Some of the other ones have a lot of more interesting areas, but I haven't like played this game in a while. Like I've started one other career just to kind of be playing and getting used to it, so I get better and better for when I'm recording the ones that actually matter. You can see me fucking chasing that person around trying to get a slide tackle on him, and it is not working. So it seems every once in a while the hit detection for when you're trying to beat people up just doesn't seem to want to work. It'd be nice if there was like a real turbo button, but there isn't. But I mean, it's been all day asking for more features. But I mean, you know, it was the first iteration of the game, and I mean, I'm sure if they had gotten to make a second one, a lot of the stuff that kind of irks me would have been improved upon. And I really think it would be awesome if this game got remade, because it's a ton of fun. I really think like these kind of games where it's like a weird combination of action game and sports game are pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff like that, but I don't really play them or know too much about them. But I've heard of like Blood Bowl, and I'm sure there's some other ones like that I know. You know, like Mutant League Hockey and Blitz, of course. Though Mutant League Hockey was a while ago and hasn't been made for anything in a while. Well, that'd be pretty sweet to see brought back too. Just those weird combinations of games. One of my favorite baseball games growing up was like Baseball 2020, and so there was like a teams of robots and just like crazy teams. Like, there's probably similar to this one where you can get steroids for some of your players. Some of them are jacked up like that, and that one's still pretty much just baseball. There's not as much crazy stuff going on as there is like in this game where it's basketball plus you get to beat the crap out of everybody. But it was still a lot of fun to play, and actually this one doesn't seem that crazy if you're watching the hockey playoffs at all. It seems like violence seems to be what they want in that game right now, so it's pretty cool. But you know, and one thing I do like about this game, which I always forget about and ends up getting me in trouble, is that however you're playing affects how, there I hit my own guy, determines how the other people play. So like right now, pretty much all I'm doing is trying to beat them up, and I'm just letting my team get decimated on scores here. And because I'm so much into beating them up and injuring them, that makes the computer guys remember I did that, and it makes them more aggressive in trying to punch and kick and beat up people too. So usually, well, against like the Sea Cats, because they don't have a lot of physicality, it's not as bad of an idea to make them try and beat you up, because that's not their strong suit. But when you're playing against like the Convicts or any other team that's all about brutality and physicality, you can kind of play the actual sport part of the game, and you won't get yourself into too much trouble with them beating you up. And here I just apparently can't get the disc, and then it allows her to beat the crap out of me. So it respawned in the middle. And there I am just fucking losing a fight for some reason. Seems to happen to me every once in a while. I think part of it is I tend to go for the strong strikes instead of, or I'll hold down like the punch or kick button instead of just tapping it and getting hit. And I'm really letting these people get back into this fucking game, as it's almost tied up now, 13-12. And they're kind of doing the thing I was talking about where you shoot through one side, go grab it on the other, and then just kind of play catch with the hoop in the middle. So there I had an awful quarter, which allowed them to catch up. Thankfully, with my injured guy, I managed to go grab a Mega Health, which heals him up, so I don't have to spend any money doing it. And there, once again, they stopped my awesome plan. Because they have a little more speed, they're able to get in position faster. And they've tied it up, and I know I was probably not happy about that and probably swearing a lot, because this game makes me do that. Which is, I find it funny is the two games there I just stuck on a wall and couldn't roll away. But the two games that I've done the Let's Plays for are games that make me scream a lot. A lot of sports games make me angry in general, because it seems like the fucking computer guys always do something wrong. Or they just don't do what I want them to do, so I consider it wrong. And it can be really frustrating. Or I just have a shitty team, and that's more my fault. Whereas, like, I'll play basketball and it'll be some awful team just because they have players I like. Or for a while, like, just because I'd pick the team from Michigan, so like in football I'd be stuck with the Lions. or like basketball now would be stuck with the Pistons. But you know, every once in a while they go to them good, good and bad, depending on just how much money they're willing to spend. I mean, granted, if I was gonna go play a hockey game, I'd be perfectly fine shape with the Red Wings. But I don't really do that often because hockey games are super frustrating like this one because so much of the play is determined by your goalie, and I can't play goalie, just like I can in this game. And the computer just always seems to give stuff up when you least need, or when you need them to stop something the most. So just super aggravating that way. I'm not sure if I got taken out right there, or if I just held on to that death row too long and it blew up in my hands, which is always awful to have happen to you. There, thankfully, they just decided not to go grab the discs. I'm pretty sure they would have at least gotten one more, which would have just made the game closer. But, I mean, you know, they could have been playing catch through the hoop some more and got really racked up those points. So you can see in that game, I started off really well, but then just kind of fell apart and almost lost the game, but I held it together. Hopefully I'll get this next part up sooner than I managed to get this one in, because that was bad. But I don't really look forward to the next part, because that game does not go well for me, so it should provide some interesting commentary. So I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for